So William Regal now has a new enforcer, and that main event was absolute bedlam. I'm John Reitman with my review of WWE NXT. There were a couple other things I didn't mind on this show, but the rest felt like filler, and I don't even know her. But what can you expect from a post-takeover edition of NXT, since TakeOver in Your House was just a couple days ago? Check out my review of that if you haven't already, and let me know your thoughts on this episode in the comments. Speaking of TakeOver, Regal had some haunting words. Time for a change. Is there a path of rage? Is the mood about to change? Wait, no. That guy's on the other show. Regal basically sounds like he's going to step down as GM. And he comes out to absolutely no music. There were a few possibilities as to why they did this. They thought, hey, Regal, you're a washed-up wrestler that we made the GM, and we appreciate your blood, sweat, and tears, but we don't really care about you. Go out there and look really sad, and we're going to have Cross run you down. Or somebody spilled coffee on the music switchboard, and they said, shit, we don't have a spare one, even though we're making record-breaking profits, so Regal, just go out there. Or they wanted to make it somber, like, holy shit, this is really the end of an era. Because whenever they do the end of an era, it absolutely fucking sticks. Once in a lifetime, absolutely sticks. Anyway, enough of that. Regal comes, I believe they wanted to just make it somber. So Regal comes out, and he goes over his time in NXT, from the meager beginnings, the roster, the people in and out of the ring, people that work behind the scenes, you know, the product, how it's expanded, the fans, how emotional he was about this. I have not seen Regal this emotional since that February 98 episode of Nitro when he had to carry Goldberg. Now, I can't hit myself, and if you get it, you get it. But in all seriousness, he was very emotional. He really was upset, and he said, I've given everything, and it's time for Cross to interrupt. And Karrion Kross, you know, Karrion Kross looked like he was going to pull off a magic trick, and his 4 favorite cards all have Q at the beginning. If you get it, you get it. Because he would make it QXT, because Kross is a hell of an athlete, but he's friends with Drake Wuertz, so he's kind of an idiot for that. Anyway, he interrupts and says, are you crying, Mr. Regal? You're pathetic. You know I could control this place through chaos. And then Okada's group hit the ring and everything, and oh my god, Yano hit him with a low blow and a roll-up and everything. Wait, I'm sorry, New Japan flashbacks, all the multi-man matches that they have. That's a better kind of chaos. So he says, tick-tock, all that, and then Samoa Joe's music hits. Holy shit, we haven't seen Samoa Joe in a couple months. He was one of the released talents and everything, and maybe I have a couple theories before I continue with this. Maybe he wanted, didn't mind getting his release because he wanted to go get, cleared and wrestle elsewhere. Maybe he realized that it wasn't going to work out. Maybe WWE regretted it, and they said, hey, Joe, can we come to an agreement? Because we liked having you on commentary, but you've had a lot of head injuries. He's had a lot of concussions, and he wrestles a rough style. And I don't want to see Samoa Joe unable to really form words and everything and just be a shell of himself. I don't want him to not be able to contribute to wrestling. So if he's happy doing this role, then I'm happy for him. Would I mind seeing him back in the ring? Absolutely. I would love to see him back in the ring because I love Samoa Joe. I loved him since the NWA TNA days. But if he never wrestles again, it is what it is. Anyway, back to this segment. He said, you made NXT an international phenomenon. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Phenomenon. And if you get it, you're as old as I am. So anyway, basically Regal says, hey, I want to make you the GM. No, I don't want to be the GM. Oh, okay. How about you be my enforcer? But that means you can't be an active competitor and you can't lay your hands on somebody unless provoked. Oh, hi, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Eric Bischoff from 2003. I didn't see you standing right there in the fucking blinding... God damn it. They're just redoing that. But you know what? It is what it is. It worked then. I hope this can work. But I'm afraid they're going to hotshot this goddamn thing. But he accepts... And then he says across, what the fuck are you still doing here? I mean, he doesn't say that, but it would have been funny if he did. So the grizzled hung veterans are soon to be rectimized after winning this tornado tag. I can't help it. I just can't help but say that. And anyway, you drag our names through the dirt. Yes, I know. Gibson is a really good talker. Drake, he's fine. They're a very good team in the ring, though. What's with the phone percentage? Somebody said it was going to be Tegan Nox because that, mentioning Tegan Nox just makes her ACL scream in pain. Tegan she's very good in the ring, and she's young, and I want to see her succeed. But the human body knows its limits, and I just fear that if it is her, and I don't know who the fuck it is. I don't know who it is. But if it is her, it's a ticking clock on her, getting injured again. Because she's had 3 ACL surgeries in, 3-4 years? It's really, I mean, I'm just speculating there, but who do you think the phone percentage, graphics are in reference to. Because I thought it was a commercial thing, and I'm like, no, that's actually part of the show. Because I saw it more than once. Imperium, Bartel, and Eichner took on Breezango. Roll up for 3. I don't care. If these guys are good athletes, I don't care. But yeah, inside cradle, dreaded roll up, surprise roll up for 3, and then the European bomb to Breeze. Okay? Cool, let's move on. Cole and O'Reilly are brawling backstage. Regal's like, I'm sick of this. The unsanctioned match didn't solve anything. Well, no. Why would a match like that solve anything in this day and age? He says, well, you guys, are going to face off against each other one-on-one at the Great American Bash on July 6th, because they're pummeling that concept into the dirt. And you get to choose your opponents for next week. So scour and choose your opponents and everything. And then Joe gets shoved by Cole and then chokes out Cole. And that was kind of funny because it didn't take very long. Almost as long as it took for the Nitrous to knock out Britt Baker in the Tooth and Nail match. God, I hate that match. I hate that match so much. It wasn't even a match. So anyway, Joe says, tell Cole when he wakes up that Regal expects, his decision tonight. So anyway, Escobar is coming for Reed to snatch him. I think I heard that right. He's coming for the North American Championship. I mean, he did reference how he picked him up at TakeOver, which was impressive. I didn't know who the hell Trey Baxter was until I looked and I go, holy crap, it's the former Blake Christian, who he's dating the former Elena Black, now Cora Jade. And he was in the Super J Cup, I believe. I believe he was the guy that got his nose busted open. But you know what? Blake Christian, very good athlete, and I'm excited to see what he can do. He took on Kushida in an open challenge. Flippy shit, but it was also well wrestled. We got almost a Fosbury flop variation by Trey. And O'Reilly's out there to scout. What the hell is O'Reilly doing? He's going to interfere, and he's going to make it a 3-way. He's going after the Cruiserweight title. Oh, wait, no, he can pick his opponent. So, back and forth, we get a nice 450 off the ropes by Trey. And then hoverboard lock where... because of the positioning, Trey had to tap his ass. He had to smack the ass of Kushida. I don't know why that amused me. I don't know why I'm so immature when it comes to wrestling, but goddamn, that was just so funny. And we show respect, and O'Reilly picks Kushida. And then Frankie Monet is talking to Mackenzie. Mackenzie Mitchell kept getting interrupted tonight. She talks to Jessica May and Aaliyah and says, hey, you had a match at TakeOver, I think on the pre-show, or before the show even went to the pre-show, where... they said, maybe if Robert Stone wasn't inept, you'd be able to succeed. And then Robert Stone shows up and she plays all nice and then walks off. And they're like, yay, maybe we should listen to Frankie. Frankie leading a stable of women that, certainly, exist on television is a choice. And I like Frankie Monet, former Ty Valkyrie. I think she'd get a lot out of somebody. I don't know if she can get anything out of Aaliyah. She's been in NXT since dinosaurs roamed the goddamn earth. And that was before Luchasaurus became a goddamn dinosaur. Because he was in NXT. Har har. So now we get Mercedes saying she vows revenge on Xia and the Grudge Ghost. That was a stupid thing with the Grudge Ghost. Xia, I hope Xia can get past this gimmick. Or at least past, having the Grudge Ghost think it's just dumb. So $1 million coronation with LA Knight. Let me talk to you, Ted. Goes over, playing with the, $1 million man action figure with the $1 million belt. I used to have that, actually. I used to have all those action figures. Jake the Snake Roberts, Hulk Hogan, Savage, all that. I used to have them. I don't know what the hell happened to them. Maybe they're in storage somewhere. I don't know. Something happened to them. But anyway, the whole point that, God, I hadn't even thought of that until now. But it was really cool. And he talks about how he loved $1 Million Man as a kid and all this. And he did all this stuff. He says he's glad to meet his hero. And they did all this really, really good stuff. Really emotional promo from LA Knight. And I'm like, holy crap. They're hooking me. I'm like, God, I said, I feel like there's something going to happen. I go, maybe not. And then he gets, he thanks Ted. He gets the title put on him. He says, I would like you to, crown me the $1 million champion. It's like, might be more than happy to. We get the sparklers and everything. So the exploding barbed wire death match memories kept coming back. That was a stupid ending. And then he says, well, now that I have everything I want, it's time to drop what I don't need. And he hits Ted DiBiase, more like Ted DiBDropse. Worked hard on that one. Laugh, damn you. Man, begging for laughs. Anyway, but that TED Talk just didn't work. I'm going to stop these puns event. I'll never stop these puns. And I'm surprised that Ted DiBiase took a bump. Not only Knight's a safe worker, but Ted hasn't wrestled since like late 93. So, I mean, he's managed a whole bunch and everything and stuff like that, but he's also in his 60s. Whatever. I mean, it was what it was. I'm a little bit surprised it did that. Grimes comes down and runs night off, and man, cool. They're trying to make me care about Cameron Grimes, and I want to, but I just can't. So, yeah, Dakota and Raquel were talking backstage and everything about teaming up and all that stuff and what this means for Raquel's title reign. Ember and Shotzi are having a shouting match for some reason, and it's Casey, Caden, and Kai and Raquel. It's sponsored by Triple K Car Insurance. They only insure white cars, prevents against hood damage. If you know what that's from, I love you guys for getting the obscure references. So anyway, I don't know why this thing went through a break. Casey's gotten good at masking her pain. Not masking her face, but masking her pain. And yeah, it was the typical match that Dakota would get, beat up. And, she would hit some moves, but Raquel would be the one dominant once she got in. And this really didn't need to go as long as it did. It wasn't bad, but I don't know. There were some people that were praising it. I thought that some of the action was good, but it was what it was. GT Kai is a stupid name for a finisher. I love Dakota Kai. And man, when you can display pink tips like that, tips on camera, you get some bonus points. But in all seriousness, Dakota Kai is very good. Her and Raquel. It's obviously going to lead to a split, maybe at the next TakeOver, which, assuming they don't do one in July, they will do one, the night before SummerSlam or the night after SummerSlam. Who the hell knows? So anyway, but yeah, Dakota and Raquel won in twice the time that they should have. Everrise got a toy house broke up by Hit Skid Row on the pre-show, and they said that's a nice looking house. Why doesn't mine look like that? I'm sorry, La Grill. What the hell is that? So Io is out in the ring, and then Candice interrupts her, who can't stand Io, and then Indy gets Io from behind, and it's a 2-on-1, and Zoe, decides to help Io out or whatever. It's a bit of a stark contrast from other stuff she's been doing, har, and cool, we're going to have this match. Please don't make them tag team champions. They probably will, and I like Indy, but Indy's booking is all over the place. She loves Loomis, then she does whatever. Anyway, and when it's obvious that Candice was the one that was trying to get her away from whatever. So anyway, Mackenzie tries to talk to Regal and Joe, and a smash cut to the, Ciampa and Thatcher seeing MSK and Thatcher taking a bucket of the buttery goodnesses popcorn from, I believe it was Castor. I'm actually not sure which one it was, but he took it from one of them. The Diamond Mine is opening next week. Who is it? Probably Roddy and Shafir. Don't be Tessa, please. So then we go back to Regal and Joe. They're interrupted immediately by Gargano and Theory, and Joe kicks them out, and then Dunn stares down Joe. Okay. GYB versus Ciampa and Thatcher. Tornado tag. Bedlam. Madness. They just went insane. They beat each other up. They did some really good stuff here. Went all over the Capitol Wrestling Center. I'm not going to get too deep into analysis here on this one because they just beat the shit out of each other. Thatcher got targeted. They laid the shit in. We get a Doomsday device outside. We get the announcer's table action. Air raid crash on the announcer's table. And an armbar taps out Drake. And there you go. And then Joe says to Regal, night one of many. And then Regal got in it got in, I assume, a chauffeured SUV. Because maybe they don't trust Regal to drive. Maybe his hair is going to, take over and everything and, get up there and everything. It's going to be like Bad Hair. Love that movie. This review is really getting weird. I thought we were going to get cross saying, where to, Regal? Ah! Anyway, so yeah, this show was fine. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retlin. I'll see you soon.